Here.
Dukniak.
Here.
Tillman.
Here.
Gale.
Here.
Guzekowski.
Here. Swearing in, please. Oh. Shouldn't have started. Text it to
You just say your name.
me. Okay, and don't say your name. You gotta say. I state your name.
Raise your right hand, please. I state your name. Swear that I will support
I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
What? Oh. Mary.
The thing I sent you.
Hospitality. And congratulations, everybody. Would everybody please rise for the pledge? Ted, would you lead us tonight? How about you, Mike?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, it's hidden. Approval of minutes of April 1st, 2019. If you could, please take a look. Any omissions, errors, corrections, or questions? Have none. We'll entertain a motion.
Kirkowski will make a motion to approve minutes of April 1st, 2019.
Oracle second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Dukniak.
Aye.
Tillman. Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski. Kirkowski.
Aye.
We now have the election of Common Council President. Melissa, would you like to remind us of how it all goes?
We'll try. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to our re-elected council members. In terms of the election of council president, you gentlemen have seen this before. By statute, the election of an officer of the council can be done by a paper ballot. So I would recommend that the chair open the floor for nominations, and those can be made by any of the aldermen. And once all the nominations are made, there should be a motion to close the nominations, and then the vote can be done by paper ballot.
We'll now open the floor for nominations.
Dukniak moved to nominate Ken Gale for council president.
Guzekowski will second.
Or any other nominations?
Owen will make a motion to close the nominations.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukniak.
Aye.
Tillman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Is it necessary?
It is not necessary, but it is up to the council. I would say that since there is only one nomination, we can have a motion to cast a unanimous ballot for Alderman Ken Gale as council president.
Dukniak moved to approve a unanimous ballot to approve Ken Gale as common council president.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Tillman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you all.
We will open up our public hearings on item number 5. It is consideration of special, excuse me, a special assessment with the intention to exercise power under section 3.200 of the municipal code to levy a special assessment upon abutting properties for the benefit of conference upon the properties on the south side of West College from approximately 400 feet east of 27th Street to approximately 525 feet west of South 20th Street. Catherine, would you like to read that in?
Certainly. Public hearing number 1 is a notice of public hearing on special assessments for water main and apprentices in accordance with resolution number 12042-031919. Project number is 19103. All property fronting on the south side of West College Avenue from approximately 400 feet east of South 27th Street to approximately 525 feet west of South 20th Street, dated this 20th day of March 2019.
Thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.
Mike?
Good evening, Mayor. In the public hearing, we're talking about this water main project. It's about 1,800 feet of 12-inch water main in College Avenue, as you mentioned, just east of 27th Street to approximately 20th or so. There is a graphic that shows the length of that water main. It is connecting two current dead-end loops or dead-end lines together to form a loop. It's going to enhance public fire protection available water there because of those two feeds to that location, as well as enhancing water quality. The project is about $485,000. That's the estimate for the project cost. Of that, $83,500 would be special assessed to the abutting property owners, and the utility would pay the $401,500 that's remaining for the project. Of the $83,500, $48,500 would be on the 10-year repayment program for the special assessments, and the balance, $35,000, would be on the 20-year repayment program, and that's just based on the properties, their size, and whether they're vacant along College Avenue or not.
Mike. As this is a public hearing, we will open the floor. Anybody wishing to speak, please approach the podium, give your name and address. We will make 3 calls. This is the first call. Second call. Third and final call. We'll now close the public hearing and go to item number 6, which is consideration of the resolution authorizing that water main. We'll open it up to the council for questions or comments. Greg?
I just have one quick question about the project itself. Do we have a start, end date, and how much the road will get tore up?
The road will not get torn up very much at all. We're going to directional drill this, so we'll have a pit at the east end, the west end, also where we're putting hydrants in, but other than that, we're going to directional drill, so try and minimize the disruption of the road. As far as the starting, probably start month and a half, 2 months, depending on the bidding and when we can get contracts approved in a contract, successful contractor.
Other questions, comments? Seeing none, motion?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Is there a comment?
I thought Guzzi
Oh,
wanted to
no.
comment. So.
Okay. Motion, please.
Lorik will move that the council adopt resolution number 12052-041619, the final resolution authorizing water main and appurtenance in West College Avenue and levying special assessments against benefited properties and approving preliminary plans.
Dukenyak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale.
Oh, yeah. Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Item 7 is another public hearing, and it's consideration of a conditional use for proposed contractor office, shop, yard, and outdoor storage. Catherine, when you are ready, please read that in.
Certainly. Public hearing number 2 is to consider a request submitted by Frank Jufrey, Star Properties 2 LLC, for a conditional use permit for a proposed contractor's office shop yard with outdoor storage and truck parking on the properties at 6524 and 6548 South 13th Street. Applicant is Frank Jufrey, Star Properties 2 LLC. Property owner is Star Properties 2 LLC. Legal description there follows. Date of notice, March 13th, 2019.
Thank you, Catherine. Doug?
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Doug Seymour. I'm the Director of Community Development for the city, and this is a public hearing on a request for a conditional use permit for a contractor's shop and yard with outdoor storage and truck parking for the properties at 6524 and 6548 South 13th Street. The properties are zoned M1 manufacturing, and the uses that we have listed do require a conditional use permit in the zoning district. So both of these properties were formerly the site of a recycling operation, the remnants of which have been cleaned up and removed from the property with the exception of the building that's still there and would be used in some capacity with the operation of the proposed contractor shop. Now, per the narrative that was supplied, there would be landscaping, some turn lanes, some parking lot lighting, some parking lot additions that would be created as part of this proposed conditional use permit, which all would need to be approved by the Plan Commission for the conditions and restrictions. The outdoor storage outdoor storage and parking as proposed would be limited to the proposed parking lot to the east of the building, which could accommodate 74 truck and trailer stalls and one or more dumpster enclosures, which be approved by the Plan Commission as part of the site plan and building plan approval process. Council should be aware of the following items that the Plan Commission had recommended: that the properties must be combined by a certified survey map. Obviously, that stormwater management plans, erosion control plans, and the maintenance agreement would be required. The parking areas must be paved, and that the expansion of the parking areas and landscaping, again, will require review and approval by the Plan Commission at a later date. With those items in mind, the Plan Commission, after their review, has recommended to the council that this conditional use permit be granted subject to the conditions and restrictions which are included as part of your council report. This is a public hearing. I would ask that anyone who has any questions or comments regarding the proposed conditional use permit to fill out an appearance form. Once your name is called, please proceed to the podium and address your comments and or questions to the Commons Council. This public hearing is now open.
Thank you, Doug. We will make 3 calls. This will be the first. Second call. Third and final call. We'll now close the public hearing and move on to consideration of that ordinance for a conditional use permit. Questions, comments from the council? Ken?
Thanks, Mayor. Doug, I heard you say, paved parking area? Is it currently paved or?
A portion of the parking lot is already paved, primarily the portion to the west of the building, which ironically is the portion which is in the floodway, which is, there's going to be some restrictions with respect to what you can do in there. In order to park the trailers that they are proposing, they would need to come back with a plan for the Plan Commission, which would pave that portion of it.
For their parking trailers?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Any other questions, comments?
The comment, Mayor, Rich Dukniak, 3rd District. Certainly, with the conditions put in place by the Planning Commission, that will be a significant improvement over what was previously there. So, Mr. Jufrey, thank you. And once all the conditions are met, I know that recycling area, wasn't Barricade Flasher next door to it?
They are south of there, yes.
And that is still an ongoing business?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Doug, I guess I do have a question. You can refresh my memory. I think we talked about this. Does this conditional use permit carry a time limit of like 7 years or 10?
It does, and actually, that's a good point. Under the conditions and restrictions, and we've started to incorporate this per state statute, recent state statute, we do show a duration of this conditional use permit, and I believe, and I'm just confirming, that the CUP would be limited in duration for 10 years. And at that point, the applicant would have the opportunity to come back to the Common Council of the city to apply for additional time. Again, this being a transitional area, it was felt that it was proper to kind of allow the investment to be made in this and other properties in some similar circumstances without committing the city, to a contractor's yard and outdoor storage and what essentially would have been a forever condition had there not been a duration put on the conditional use permit.
Thank you, Doug. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, motion.
Kirkowski make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2933, approving a conditional use permit for a contractor's office, shop, yard with outdoor storage and truck parking on the properties at 6524 and 6548 South 13th Street.
Oracle second.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Item 9 is consideration proposed by the Oak Creek Franklin School District for a certified survey map for some unimproved future right-of-way affecting the property at 9330 South Shepherd. Catherine.
Public hearing number 3 is to consider a proposal by the Oak Creek Franklin Joint School District to amend the official map for a portion of Lot 1 of Certified Survey Map number 8047, mapped, unimproved future right-of-way affecting the property at 9330 South Shepherd Avenue. Property legal description there follows. Date of notice is March 13th, 2019.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.
Doug?
The Oak Creek Franklin Joint School District is requesting an amendment to the official map for this area as it relates to the property at 9330 South Shepherd Avenue. The property is shown on your screen is just to the north of the East Middle School. The officially mapped streets through this property connect South Shepherd Avenue to South Ridgecroft Drive and South Parkside Drive. And the proposal would remove those streets on the property in question and would relocate that connection to within the subdivision to the north. So there'd still be the opportunity for the property to the north to develop, make a connection to the subdivision to the north, and actually would create a loop, would alleviate some dead ends there. So it would allow for the continuation of those streets, but it would not come out to Shepherd Avenue in that location. The proposal, or the proposed change to the official map, comes on the heels of the referendum, which allowed for the pursuit of some additional facilities on that property, which would have resulted in, obviously, those streets not being built. So anytime you look at the official map and amending the official map, we always take a look at whether or not the proposed amendments or the proposed changes allow for the appropriate development of the adjacent properties and really don't really damage the ability of those adjacent properties to complete the street network. And in this case, it does not do that. It allows for that property owner to develop, should they desire to do so, and still maintain the continuity of the neighborhood, the continuity of the street network. Planning Commission has reviewed this, and they have concurred, and they've recommended to the council that this official map amendment be approved after a public hearing. Again, this being a public hearing, anyone with questions, comments, please approach the microphone, give your name and address. Then we'll call for 3 times. This public hearing is now open.
Thank you, Doug. We will make 3 calls. This will be the first. Second call. Third and final call. We'll now close the public hearing and move on to consideration of the ordinance amending that map. Questions, comments from the council?
Yes, Alderman Dukenyak, 3rd District. Doug, the parcel in question, it's north, correct? North of the middle school?
North of the middle school, yes.
I missed. I thought I heard you say east.
Oh, if I did, I apologize.
Okay,
It's-
that mapped roadway was just in consideration for the potential future expansion of Oakshire, I take it.
Correct.
Okay, and now that the district owns that land, there is no potential for that. So, okay, and I've had no comments or concerns from residents of the 3rd District in regard to this.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug, just a couple housekeeping things. Has the, what I imagine was a formerly mapped entrance off of Shepherd, has that been officially abandoned before?
It has not. There's some additional, should that be a separate action that wouldn't be, since it was shown on a prior CSM, the act of approving this official map amendment wouldn't necessarily take that off that certified survey map. It would take an additional action on the part of the
Okay.
on the part of the city.
So do you know, is that owned jointly by the adjoining landowners, or is one property?
Yeah, I know, I don't know that.
Okay. All right, we'll figure that out in the future. And then also, do you know off the top of your head, Doug, okay. You own,
Sorry, sir, you have to come up to the microphone.
Dave Copland, 9150 South Shepherd. In that right-of-way from Shepherd Avenue back to the school property. The north half of that is still on our tax rolls and everything else. It's dedicated for a future street. The south half, the city has ownership of it from when the house to the south of 9150, which is 9170, right at the corner of the school drive, when that was subdivided off, that south half of the roadway, right-of-way, was designated to the street or given to the city.
Dedicated, right. So those are some cleanup items that we'll have
Right,
to
thanks.
follow through on.
Thank you,
okay,
sir.
thank you. And Doug, do you know where the new officially mapped street, how many landowners are involved in that parcel?
That is one property. Yeah, it might kind of nick the properties along Shepherd Avenue, but for the most part, that's one property.
Okay. And Rich, you didn't hear from anybody there? All right.
Anyone else? No. Okay, if no further discussion, motion?
Oh, excuse me. Dukenyak moved to approve ordinance number 2934, amending the official map for a portion of Lot 1 of certified survey map number 8047.
Lorick will second.
Roll call?
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Under new business, items 11, 12, and 13 are mayoral appointments and common council appointments for various committees, boards, and positions. I would imagine we're holding these, seeing as we just elected a council president. Usually, we're going to confer with the aldermen as to where they're going to be and make sure our appointments are in line. So we'll ask to hold items 11, 12, and 13. Do we need separate motions? Separate, or? Somebody please do a motion to hold items 11 through 13.
Guzekowski make a motion to hold items 11 through 13.
Kelsey will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Item 14 is consideration of a motion to award the Lake Vista rubber and play surface installation. With us tonight, Ed Johnson.
Hi, this is basically to take the wood chip area and the sand area and turn it into a rubber surface play area for the kids. We originally put that in as sand and wood chips. It didn't pan out as well as we thought it would. It's kind of flooding over, and we've had a number of complaints after it rains and the snow melts and that. Another thing that we noticed was the water would wash the chips away, and there is a fall limit that that you have to maintain for the kids. Can only fall a certain distance safely according to codes. So we went through, and this is the same surface that is on the other parts of the playground, and so we were going to match what is already there. We weren't terribly surprised that we only got one bid. It's a very specialized process, and actually the company that did it originally is the one that bid on it, Blue Mills.
Questions for Ted? Ken.
Go, let Matt go.
Ted, are you familiar with that rock issue that we had down there with the jagged rocks? Is that been addressed at all? I haven't heard anything about that lately.
I read some of the comments on it, yes, but I think that is pretty much settled down. I don't.
Ted, you might, sorry to jump in, you might confirm, we did move, logically moved some of the rocks that were close to the walkways, and I think the other parents out there on social media came to the rescue on that one, so I think it resolved itself.
Ted, unfortunately, I got no frame of reference. How do you view this? Is it legitimate price for this bid, or?
Actually, it's within $1,000 of what we estimated it at, so.
Ted, just very quickly, I mean, everybody's kind of using this. We have it down there already. How's it holding up?
Well, actually, the playground and that's holding up really well, and the stuff that, we've got this in other spots. This type of surface is used in a number of different parks. If you go down there and go on it, it's kind of almost like a cushion is what it's like. And it's supposed to hold up for a while, and actually they can strip it out and report if and when it gets bad, and it wouldn't be the whole, I mean, there's prep and a lot of other things in this 48,000. But yeah, I mean, the stuff's used all over the place in parks, and we anticipate that it'll last a good long time.
Chris?
Ted, just a quick question on start date and how long will equipment be down and things like that?
Well, it's only 2 areas, so the majority of the park area will remain open. We do have a time, I believe it's end of June for it to be done, but we'll work with the contractor and make sure that if there's any special events or anything going on down there, that it wouldn't interfere with that.
Okay, thank you.
Other discussions? Questions? All right, motion.
I'm going to make a motion to award the Lake Vista Park rubber play surface installation unit price contract to Blumels Maintenance. Okay, Maintenance Service Incorporated at estimated cost of $48,260.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukniak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Item 15 is consideration of a resolution for a certified survey map for Walden OCLLC for various properties on Drexel Avenue and Aquia Way. Doug?
Thank you. This certified survey map, I don't have the graphic up here, so I apologize for that. But what it does is it's really the same certified survey map which was reviewed and approved a year ago by the Plan Commission and Council. And what it does is it takes the properties that were acquired by Walden LLC along Drexel Avenue, combines it with their existing property, which is just south of IKEA. One interesting note that accompanies this is that the council just recently approved a quitclaim deed, which gave a portion or returned a portion of the property right on the corner of Drexel Avenue and IKEA Way to Walden. The backstory on that was, again, that this land that was basically given to the city for the IKEA Way intersection, as well as the compensating storage for the stormwater management for the road work, and the remainder of that property was returned back to the property owner, and hence is being combined with the other properties to make one large property.
Great, thank you, Doug. Questions? Comments? I think Doug summed it up very well. Seeing no questions or comments, motion.
Clerk will move that the council adopt resolution number 12055-041619, a resolution approving a certified survey map for Walden OC LLC for the properties at 1700, 1750, 1800, 1860, 1848, 1850, 1900, and 1920 West Drexel Avenue and 7700 South IKEA Way.
Dukniak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukniak.
Aye.
Item 16 is a consideration of a resolution issuing the release of a development agreement for Storage Shop USA located on East Oak Street. Mike, when you're ready.
So this is the storage shop, the 5-unit condominium storage complex on Oak Street. And there was a development agreement required for this because there are the 5 units that are served by one sanitary sewer. Although it is a private sanitary sewer, not public infrastructure, is termed a private interceptor sewer. Because it's classified as that, it needs to be designed according to city and MMSD standards, and it needs to be inspected while it is constructed. And basically, that was the purpose of this development agreement, to make sure that that was all agreed to and carried out. And it has been done to the city's satisfaction.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions regarding this? If they are, please direct them to Mr. Simmons. Seeing none, motion?
Kirkowski will make a motion to adopt resolution, excuse me, resolution number 12054-041619, issuing a release from the development agreement for Storage Shop USA, Oak Creek LLC at 331 and 401 East Oak Street.
Oracle, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Item 17 is consideration of a motion to award the 2019 road improvements to the lowest responsive bidder. Mike.
And so Peyton Dolan was the apparent low bidder, and we've worked with them on many of these projects in the past. What we did was we took the authorization to go out for the road improvements projects along with the couple areas that we are doing some safe routes to school work. These are crosswalk improvements, and also a maintenance project on a road that's rated a 6, I believe, a segment of Pennsylvania Avenue. And this is a new type of treatment for us, not new in the industry, but not a lot that we've done in the city, at least in my time here with the city, that we're going to do maintenance to a bit of a higher rated road than we normally would address. And this, of course, follows from our strategic action plan white paper, in which we had recommended committing some funds to maintenance on higher rated roads to maintain them at a higher rating for longer, therefore pushing some of these larger, more costly maintenance procedures off into the future. So we've done all three of that under this contract, and we came within our budgeted numbers, the numbers that, the money that we have reserved. So the recommendation is to proceed.
Thank you, Mike. Questions for Mike? Steve?
Alderman Kirkowski, First District. Mike, on items 5 and 6 on the back side of the council report, any of those costs being shared with South Milwaukee if those projects are within that area?
They are not, because the current agreement with the city of South Milwaukee is a division of the shared roadways. Where South Milwaukee takes care of north of Rawson Avenue, we would take care of Rawson Avenue to Forest Hill. And then, of course, there's the other shared roadway, which is Forest Hill. South Milwaukee has a segment, and we have a segment. So when there is a rehabilitation, not a complete reconstruction, but a rehabilitation, and this would fall under that category, then that that follows those two, the allotments of what is theirs, what is ours.
What type of road closures is that going to entail? Just as I sit here smiling and thinking about everything else that's going on and the complaints you're getting, I'm I'm kind of going to get ready for the.
We're making a lot of happy people. This road will remain open to traffic. I envision us basically having it road closed, local traffic only. So if somebody does need to take that road to get to their residence, for instance, someone that lives in Chapel Hills subdivision, their only access is Pennsylvania to Montana, Montana in. Obviously, we would not restrict them from doing that. Unfortunately, people take advantage and they drive through anyways. But the nature of this work, yes, there's going to be some base patching that slows us down, but the rest of it is milling the surface and then fairly closely behind paving new asphalt. So it will be an inconvenience. Hopefully, a fair number of the drivers will decide they want to avoid that area, but we'll get through. It's not going to be closed off entirely.
Okay, and I'm assuming that sufficient letters will go out to all the, at least the folks that live along Pennsylvania.
That's correct.
Okay. Maybe, just thinking off the top of my head is maybe if South Milwaukee has any type of social media platform or anything that they could share that information with their residents, since we probably wouldn't be sending stuff to them.
Good thought. We'll take care of that.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions, comments? Mike?
Mike, I know this will be a hard question to answer because obviously until this work is done, you won't know what's left in the budget or if we came under or over. Did you have a chance to, I talked to you a little bit about that stretch east of 32 on Oakwood, how bad that stretch is? You had a chance to look at that?
Yes, we have.
What's your
that road is a 2, and we feel we would potentially be pushing it to try to do a mill and overlay of that road. We think that road's going to need to be excavated and reconstructed. It's failing from the pavement itself is brittle, but there's issues underneath in the sub base.
That if we did come in way under, is that something you could get in before the 2-year cycle? Could that be worked on next year?
We can definitely request it in the 2020 budget.
I had no idea it was that bad until I got some phone calls, and then this was post CIP. Otherwise, I would have addressed it at the meeting, but I had no idea it was that bad.
Part of the evaluation process for road candidates is also the classification of the road. I mean, that road has light traffic volumes anyways.
Yeah, basically
right.
the bluffs on the serves. Okay, thank you.
I have heard that there's potential development happening on the south side of that roadway as well. There's a large vacant parcel. We'd have to keep an eye on that.
Is that the one? Is that the one Barrett just purchased? Or no, that would be.
Don't know the name. Yeah, I was just talking to an engineer that was. They were looking at doing a proposal on that development of that land, and so if that's going to be if that's going to be subject to large construction traffic, we definitely would want to hold off until after that's completed.
Is that coming up? That issue?
Doug.
Sure, not entirely sure what Mike was being told, but I mean the only discussion I have had in the past 6 months is someone who might be doing a certified survey map down there for a few lots. Nothing that rises to the level of major construction.
Any other questions? If seeing none, motion please.
Kirkowski make a motion to award the 2019 road improvements unit price contract to the lowest responsible bidder, Payne and Dolan, at the estimated cost of $1,318,164.45.
Lorkel, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Item 18 is consideration to award a private property infiltration and inflow Phase 1 lateral inspection. Mike.
This is the project that was initiated in December of last year when the council passed a couple of resolutions related to the establishment of a PPI reduction program and then a funding agreement with MMSD to actually then proceed with the project. And so given that authorization to proceed, we worked with MMSD and our staff and staff from the water and sewer utility on identifying potential areas for the project. And what we did was we did identify two basins in the Oakview number 3 subdivision. Sent out surveys to the 2 areas, and then based on the responses, we selected the easternmost of those 2 areas, and those are what's up on the screen right now. There were 33 homes in that eastern basin, 17 of which have responded positively that they were willing to participate in the program. And so based on that, we went out to bid and got 2 bids for the inspection portion of that work. And what that is that's going to be them running a camera up those laterals, identifying the defects in the laterals, and then designing the repair accordingly. And then so the second phase would be us going out to bid for contractors to bid on actually doing the repairs.
Mike, questions for Mike? Seeing none, motion?
Tolman will make a motion to award the private property infiltration and inflow Phase 1 lateral inspection unit price contract to Green Bay Pipe and TV LLC at the estimated cost of $7,405.50.
Gale second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Item 19 is consideration of a resolution approving the Creekside Crossing Marketplace Development Agreement for the design and installation of public improvements at 7700 South Kia Way. Mike.
So the development agreement will outline the work that needs to happen and how it needs to happen for the public infrastructure. This development will have public storm sewer, some improvements to the public roadways. That's Kia Way and Drexel. The adjacent roadways, they will need some turn lanes put in. Traffic signals on IKEA Way. And then it also covers a private interceptor, sanitary sewer that will serve the site, and as well as the site grading. And they are really anxious to get rolling on the construction. They've actually jumped the gun a little bit, but.
Questions for Mike regarding it? Greg?
I'm just curious, it looks like there's some work being done out there now. Is there, I guess, time frame for, does this include the entrances to the development that were on the CSM?
It does, and so what they're working on now are they're making connections for the water main and the sanitary sewer. They have to get out into IKEA Way just a bit to make those connections. That's what you see happening out there now. But then yes, then they will get going on building the entrances. There's one off of Drexel, which is just a right in, and then a full driveway to IKEA Way, and that's the one that's going to have traffic signals ultimately.
Okay. And then timing wise, any major work on IKEA Way, is there a chance it's going to be over the summer when school's not in session?
That's what's been discussed.
Okay.
Other questions? Seeing none, motion?
Clerk will move that the council adopt resolution number 12056-041619, approving the Creekside Crossing Marketplace Development Agreement for the design and installation of public improvements at 7700 South IKEA Way.
Dukenyak second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Item 20 is consideration of a resolution approving the Ryan Business Park Development Agreement for the design and installation of public improvements for the development located in the southeast quadrant of Ryan Road and 13th Street. Mike?
So this is similar to the previous item in that this is the agreement that covers the construction and inspection of the public infrastructure. And clearly this is on a much larger scale. These improvements include a new city street, which will be Bartel Court, coming off of Ryan Road with new traffic signals, and then ending in a cul-de-sac at the entrance to the Amazon development. And then fairly extensive improvements to Highway 100, some additional lanes, and almost a complete reconstruction of 13th Street with significant turn lanes as well. Traffic signals at the entrance to Quick Trip and 13th Street at that intersection. A bridge reconstruction on 13th Street, a new bridge for the Bartell Court over Oak Creek, street lighting, and so pretty substantial infrastructure.
Great. Questions for Mike? Let me rephrase that. We do have a citizen wishing to speak. Mr. Dagner, would you like to come up before we go to the council?
Arden Degner, 8540 South Pennsylvania Avenue. This development agreement is lacking. It does not cover TIF 16 as it's mentioned. It says a business park development agreement, and actually there's three concerns I have. The first concern is that there was an illustration, and I understand a park is to be constructed south of this development. And yet, I was asked by some of the residents, how are we going to access our park? Where are the roads going to be? Who's going to pay for it? The second concern I have is as you well know, there is only a half change at Elm Road to allow access to this area of the city, traveling up 13th Street and down Oakwood Road, because I would be able to travel down Pennsylvania Avenue, turn on Oakwood Road, providing we had this half change changed to a full exchange, and completely be away from this monstrous 13th Street interchange. And my third concern is this 13th and Ryan Road access. Multiple lanes. I had trouble a few years ago when the snow was like it was a couple of days ago, driving down this unfamiliar highway, and lo and behold, before I made the turn, I blew a tire on the hidden concrete median right there. How on earth is anyone going to be able to find their way through that intersection when we have snow and ice on the ground? Are we going to build a big bridge superstructure with signs going every direction and lit up with incandescent lights to melt the ice? Those are the three concerns I have, and I'd appreciate if they would be part of this development agreement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dagner. To address the concerns, just quickly, Elm Road interchange really has nothing to do with this agreement, or am I mistaken with that?
Well, the Elm Road interchange, they started the planning on that, it had to been 10 years ago now, and when that was first unveiled, the city did explore the possibility of making that a full interchange, and for a variety of reasons, it was left with just the access to the west. And I think based on the comments that we've seen throughout this process, the people that live in English Air, the residences along Oakwood and Daniel and Lois and in Armand Heights are just fine with that, because we hear it when there's trucks on Oakwood Road, and that is restricted. It is restricted. It is not a heavy truck route. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. hopefully that answers that. The park, Doug, do you want to speak to the park?
Absolutely. I mean, as part of the city's partnership with the Ryan Business Park, it has always been the intent to work with Milwaukee County and the development to create a neighborhood park in the southwest part of the city, and specifically in that area, kind of south and a little bit east of Amazon, consequently north of the English Air subdivision. We are committed to that. We will do that. There is funding for a portion of that as part of the TIF district. The details of that have not been worked out yet. That's a project that will probably take on in earnest this summer to plan that in conjunction with the neighborhood. As a matter of fact, at the neighborhood meeting for Amazon, we did get quite a list of people who would like to be involved in the planning of that neighborhood park. So I think the neighborhood parks work best when they're designed by the neighbors. So I think that's the right way of pursuing this neighborhood park. I can't speak as to what the access will be. There are some access challenges, to be sure, but I think until we have those discussions, it's really tough to say what that might look like.
Thank you, Doug.
Just to wrap that up in a bow, it doesn't appear in this development agreement to Mr. Degner's comments because that's not the responsibility of the developer in this case. That's actually the city's commitment in that large land swap, as you recall, Council. So that's why it doesn't appear in the document. We're still firmly committed to that, and it's espoused in the finance development agreement that we executed for the Ryan Business Park, excuse me. So it does appear there, just to keep that on in focus.
And just to touch on the 13th and Ryan intersection, again, we are not going to build a superstructure and special lights to melt the snow. Unfortunately, Mr. Dagner, we don't have that kind of money. Again, it's going to be constructed to DOT standards as per the traffic impact analysis. And again, it's unfortunate in weather conditions. Everybody really has to pay extra special attention, and responsibility of every driver out there to be as safe as possible. That also is a responsibility of the drivers in part too, to pay attention to road signs and detours as they come up. So we'll now turn it over to the council for questions, comments. Anything? Seeing nothing? Okay. Motion.
Gail will move to approve resolution 12057-041619, approving the Ryan Business Park Development Agreement for the design and installation of public improvements for development located in the southeast quadrant of Ryan Road and 13th Street, lots 1, 2, 3, and 4 of CSM 9085 and 1199 and 1203 of West Ryan Road.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukniak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorick.
Aye.
Item 21 is the License Committee, and I'd like to turn that over to Alderman Kirkowski.
Thank you, Mayor. I assume everybody has read the Common Council report with regards to the items for the License Committee report. Does anybody have any questions, cares, or concerns? Okay, seeing none, then Kirkowski will make a motion to adopt the License Committee recommendations as listed on the April 16, 2019 License Committee report.
Dukniak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorick.
Aye.
Dukniak.
Aye.
Item 22 is consideration to approve the April 10th, 2019 vendor summary report. If everybody would please take a look, and if you have any questions, Andrew, Mike, various people can help us out tonight.
Just a quick comment, Mayor, if I
Yes,
may.
please.
I just wanted to draw your attention. There's a large final payment on our website development to Granicus. I think it was $21,000 or so, if I'm remembering correctly. That is the final payment, as I just mentioned, on our website. And I just wanted to express to the council that we've had a lot of great feedback on our website. We're doing some work with a recruiting firm called GovHR, and this individual expressed that, geez, I was just out to your website. I look at a lot of websites. I look at websites all day long, most days of the week, and you guys have by far the best website that I've seen. So I thought that was nice, and I wanted to let you know, because that was a really important thing for us as addressed in our strategic plan. So it was a good job done by all. And if you've heard anything, yeah, obviously relay that, because I'd like to relay that to Kevin and the team that worked on it too, because it was a long process.
It is much nicer and easier to navigate. Any questions regarding the summary report? Seeing none, motion.
Bill move to approve the April 10th, 2019 vendor summary report in the combined total amount of $470,103.03.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Item 23 is to consider a motion to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, Section 1985, Parent 1, Parent E, and Parent G, to consider engaging outside legal counsel to investigate possible cost recovery for environmental remediation on the property owned by the city located at 9006 South Fifth Avenue. President Gale?
Thank you, Mayor. Gail, move to convene in the closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub E and G, to consider engaging outside legal counsel to investigate possible cost recovery for environmental remediation on property owned by the city located at 9006 South Fifth Avenue.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
We'll now convene into closed session and resume at its conclusion. Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
And 25 is to consider a motion to take any appropriate action if required.
Thank you, Mayor. Gail, move to engage outside legal counsel to investigate the possible cost recovery for environmental remediation on the property owned by the city located at 9006 South Fifth Avenue.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call. Oh, sorry, Melissa, you want to add to that?
Yes.
Oh, engaged, okay.
State that, Cam?
Trying to remember the name of the firm, Procthauser and, or is it Murphy and Procthauser. All right, rephrasing. Gail will move to engage Murphy and Procthauser to investigate the possible cost recovery for environmental remediation of property owned by the city located at 9006 South Fifth Avenue.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
And that'll get us to adjournment. I'd like to wish you all a happy Easter on behalf of myself and the Common Council, and wish you all a very safe and happy spring break for those of you that are going to be traveling. Adjournment, please.
Kirkowski will make a motion to adjourn.
Lorik seconds.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Thank you and good night.